Good morning, YG, and welcome to our virtual Sunday school. I'm Sister Mel, and I'll bring forth the Sunday school lesson today. And the title of today's lesson is You Were Built for This. And I really like this title because it's just a title of encouragement, just something to remind you that you can keep going, you can do whatever it is you set your mind to do, you can fulfill the purpose that God has for you because you're built for it, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about Moses. I'm not going to read any scriptures. I'm just going to paraphrase a little bit. We'll be coming from Exodus, the first chapter. So Moses was born during a time where King Pharaoh set an order for all the male children to be killed. So Moses is born and his mom is like, oh my gosh, like they want to kill my child. I'm not going to allow them to do that as any mother would. You're not going to kill my baby. So I'm going to do whatever I have to do to protect him because he needs to live. Okay. So she took Moses and she put him into a basket and she put him into the river. Now imagine right now a little teeny infant in a basket in the river. That's scary. And it's not so much scary for the infant because they don't have any idea of what's going on, but for the mom, like I can't even imagine having to put my baby in the river and just hope and just pray that they're going to be fine. But luckily for Moses, he was. God protected him. There are alligators in the water, all kinds of creatures. Anything could have happened to him. But because he was built for that time, God protected him. So he went down the river, he got to the end of the bank, and Pharaoh's daughter was there, and she found him, and she picked him up, she carried him home, and she took care of him as if he was her own child. So that right there is miraculous all by itself. That right there shows God's love and God's compassion that he has for his children right there. Okay? So Moses grows up, and God says, Moses, I need you to speak for me. Now, Moses had a speech impediment. Moses stuttered. So, in Moses' eyes, he's like, God, like, seriously? Like, why? Why would you ask me to speak when you know that I have issues with speaking? Like, the one thing that I don't do well is the thing that you want to use me in. And God is like, I know all of this because I made you. And because he made Moses is still equipped for the job. So God says, Moses, I want you to speak for me. So Moses, he does it. He's obedient. It took him a while, but he did end up doing what God asked him to do. So he had to go to Pharaoh because Moses' purpose was to help free God's people, the Israelites. So he had to go to Pharaoh and keep telling Pharaoh to let my people go. He didn't have to go to he didn't go to Pharaoh one time. He had to continuously go back to Pharaoh and hear Pharaoh tell him, no, get out of my face. I'm not doing that. They're working for me. I got a lot of work that needs to be done, and I'm using them to do it, so you can get out of my face. I'm not letting them go. So Moses had to keep going back, facing all the no's, all the rejections, all the hurt from the Israelite people, and seeing them sweat and tears and just be worked so hard. He had to keep seeing that, but he was built for it. So what I want you guys to take away from this lesson is that the way that we see ourselves is not the way that God sees us, because we see ourselves in all of our weaknesses, but God sees us in all of his strengths. And that's the way that it is, because without God, we can't do anything. Can you imagine Moses going to Pharaoh without God telling him to? He more than likely would have been killed. So we don't want to do anything without the voice of God leading us, okay? Leading us and guiding us. So what we want to do is find out what your purpose is. If you don't know what it is, that's okay. Pray to God. Ask God what your purpose is. And once you know what it is, make sure you know that you're built to do it, okay? We all have those things in our mind of I can't do it because of this reason and because of that reason and this, that, and the third. But just try not to think that way, because that's not the way that God sees us. God sees us like, I made you, and I made you specifically to do this so you can do it because you were built for it. All right? See you later.